Hello, this is Christian Jackson from Com45 Media and Culture. This is vlog discussion number 4, and this week's readings were Violent Media is Good for Kids by Jones and Secret Skin, an essay in unitard theory by Chabon. So, this week we looked at Gerald Jones's Violent Media is Good for Kids and Chabon's Secret Skin, an essay in unitard theory. So, both of these essays were based on the visualization of violence in media and pop culture, but specifically superheroes and comic books. So Jones talks about the benefits of being exposed to violence in the media, and Chabon makes a connection between superhero costumes and the identity of a person. In the essay, Violent Media is Good for Kids by Jones, Jones explains how kids being exposed to violent video games and television can be used as a way for children to find themselves. Now, Jones uses his own childhood as an example for why this is. So, he speaks on how reading his first comic book, The Incredible Hulk, helped him escape from reality and the enclosed world that he lived in, because his parents were very firm believers in saying that violence is bad, violence is a no-go. And Jones explains that he believes that the exposure to violence can be positive towards the lives of kids because it gives them the courage to face their own challenges that they're facing in their lives. And Jones backs his argument up by telling a story of a girl that used her violent actions into something more fertile. And that story of the girl doing that just shows how the exposure to violence in some cases can be beneficial for someone going through something like the girl or Jones when he was a kid. And I honestly disagree that violence is the answer, but I see where Jones is coming from, and I agree with the fact that it can help some kids break through and find themselves. In the next essay, titled Secret Skin, an essay in unitard theory by Chabon, he talks about how superheroes are more than just people with costumes that have superpowers. And Chabon explains that superheroes aren't meant to inspire kids to have the superpowers that they have. Like, it's like Iron Man isn't meant for me to want and go to have his powers, or Spider-Man isn't for me to go and want to be Spider-Man, even though that's how I grew up. But it's rather to inspire kids to have the same principles they have, like helping others and standing for honor, integrity, and to spread hope. And Chabon explains that this is how the mass media uses fictional characters to tell stories from different points of views. And basically, the author, he reminisces about his sheltered adolescence and how adults tried to keep him and other children away from the fantasies that lay within superhero comic books. And he also presents the idea that there's no real purpose for the costumes of superheroes, and that, like what I said before, the costume is not what makes the superhero, but rather their persona is what creates them. And a transformed identity that makes the superhero more fascinating, even though it might not seem as like exciting to kids. And when you really think about it, that is the goal of superheroes. It's to spread positivity and hope for others.